Thank you very much for joining us again on TVC Breakfast Saturday. Let's head now to the paper corner. We've got a host of them with us this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm looking at Leadership Weekend now, and of course there are a splash of stories on the newspapers. In the newspapers, that is, and on the front pages especially. Leadership Weekend reports majorly that despite federal government's rebate for the Yuletide, fares soar, northern states missing in deal as selected transport companies stop operations in region, train services grounded, and of course, there are more reactions there. Of course, this is in the fallout of the federal government's buffers, provisions of free train services, as well as 50% slash in bus rides. In other stories, 72 female inmates on death row. That's according to the Nigeria Correctional Service. 2023 Hajj lapses will not recall. Commission assures pilgrims. Armed forces promote 214 generals and others. Now, Rivers elders sue President Tinubu as well as the Attorney General of the Federation and INEC over truce, still in the aftermath of the president's intervention in the crisis in Rivers State. Emmanuel.
We'll quickly move on now to the Guardian newspaper. And the big story here says, Yota travels, discordant tunes trail FDA's interstate fare slash. Page 2 there of the Guardian newspaper. And also we have here, protesters shut down Rivers Government House, reject terms of Abuja peace meeting. I'll be fair to all Nigerians, Tinubu declares. Page 3 there of the Guardian newspaper. Distractions are over with Supreme Court judgment. Governor Mbade talking on the masthead we have. With fuel subsidy removal, there shouldn't be room for deficit in 2024 budget. Big story there on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Kemi, over to you.
Saturday Independent is next, and the big story for this paper, of course, remains on the economic situation in Nigeria. It calls it spiraling inflation. Nigerians may become poorer, lose jobs in 2024. Farmers' economists warn. Analysts task government on devolution of powers. Hunger may trigger revolution. That's according to lawyers. In the meantime, Peter Obi, the Labour Party's presidential candidate, applauds federal government over 50% transportation slash, but expresses worries as transporters deny knowledge of discount. Now, on Christmas holiday, the president is quoted as saying, "I will remain fair to all Nigerians." Other stories there on the masthead. Davido unleashes cinematic video Namoni. And down there, the bottom story there, 2 die as 2-story building collapses in Lagos. Manu.
We move on to Saturday Punch, and the big story here says, how Emefiele used proxies to acquire banks. CBN investigator they're talking says ex-CBN governor sold banks without payment evidence, recommends lenders for future to FG. Report reveals how former Apex Bank boss approved interest-free loans for cronies. Why I practice traditional medicine, recite incantations. Christian cleric they're talking. Very interesting there. Okay, sad tales of Nigerians slammed into police detention, cries for justice. Fresh protests ground Rivers NLC youth fault Tinubu's peace deal. And also we have car scarcity leaves shoppers, travelers stranded, ATMs, banking halls run dry. And that's on the front page of the Punch this morning.
On Daily Trust, ECOWAS stand on Niger not dictated by France. Ambassador Tugar says Nigeria-Niger relationship solid. He maintains we're working towards common currency in West Africa, he adds, and our stand for two-state solution in Palestine, best way out. The cover story deals with the festivities, though, but how subsidy removal, inflation, dwarfed shoppers' optimism, prices of good rice clothes hit rooftop. And, of course, there are other stories there. Blackout in Borno, Yobe as Boko Haram destroys electricity towers. INEC announces February the 3rd for 44 supplementary elections, and 12-year-old girl, 2 others killed in Lagos building collapse. Just under the masthead, how Emefiele used proxies to buy Union, Keystone, Polaris banks, and the late Ismaila Funtua indicted. Inside politics in the Daily Trust reports on hurdles as former governor and now national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Ganduje, moves to stabilize APC and capture more states. Well, that's the much we can take in the papers at this time, so we can make room for our next conversation on the program. Coming up on TVC Breakfast Saturday, Nigerians expressed mixed reactions towards the festive season as it comes with tough expenses. Join us after the break for this conversation. Stay with us.